This is the UR Business Network.
Welcome to the New York Real Estate Journal radio show. I'm Eric Wilson, along with Pinhead from Hellraiser, Rick Kaplan. And today we're going to be joined by Darren Powderly, who is the co-founder of Crowdstreet, which is a real estate investment website. And that looks really cool. I can't wait to talk to him about that. But first, we have a huge event. I know this is a New York show, but we're putting on a big event in Providence, Rhode Island on September 25th. And I have the event coordinator from the Journal, so I wanted to bring it in.
Who's that?
You, Pinhead. Could you speak and tell us what...
Well, first of all, I'm offended you would call me Pinhead.
First of all, do you know who Pinhead is from Hellraiser?
I don't know who Pinhead is, and I don't know who Hellraiser is.
Oh, they're great movies. Great movies. Check them out.
I am a Hellraiser, but I'm not...
When we get out of the studio today, Rick, you could go home and Google it, look them up.
Yeah.
Use it as your profile pic on LinkedIn. Guarantee you get more friends.
Yeah. Yeah, with a name like Pinhead, yeah, that's going to create a lot of friends.
People love it. People love it.
Yeah.
So tell us about this event that's coming up September 25th.
It's going to be enormous down at the Hilton in Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And it's September 25th. People from all over the New England area are coming down to attend. Yeah. They've been to our previous events in Boston and New Hampshire, and everyone has a great time. They make some unbelievable connections, long-lasting connections, and it's all face-to-face networking.
Right.
And we'll also be doing the New England Real Estate Journal radio show from that event as well. We do video interviews.
Yep.
It's a lot of good stuff going on. Come on down to it.
Yeah, for all of our listeners, don't forget, you can always go to youtube.com/NERE Journal and check out all of our playlists, all the New York Real Estate Journal radio shows, the New England Real Estate Journal radio shows. And stay tuned.
And interviews from some of our cocktails and conversation networking events, as well as some of the associations have some of their interviews on there as well.
Exactly. And don't forget, stay tuned and check out nyrej.com because we're going to be looking for 2015 to do the same cocktails and conversation events out there in the New York upstate and also down in Manhattan, Long Island, things like that. But for right now, let's bring on Darren Powderly, the co-founder of Crowdstreet. Hi, Darren. Thanks for joining us. And how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Our pleasure. Could you tell us a little bit about what Crowdstreet is?
Sure. Crowdstreet is a U.S. marketplace for commercial real estate offerings. It is a crowdfunding marketplace, but really what we offer is the opportunity for investors to directly access institutional quality real estate investments across the country that are sponsored by really proven real estate operators. And we do the process online, and so far it's been working fantastic.
So, how do you get the investments for people to look at? Is it like other REITs that are looking for members to join their team, or how do you get this out to?
Good question. It's a combination of sources. In fact, Crowdstreet, we conceptualized the idea back in early 2012. So it was a while ago that we conceptualized the idea. It was basically spun out of the Jobs Act, the idea of advertising and the ability to generally solicit private offerings. We felt like it would be a great match for the commercial real estate industry, and we incorporated it in March of 2013. And what we found was that we thought it was a great fit for small real estate operators or even entrepreneurs in secondary and tertiary markets across the United States. And in fact, that is a great fit. But ever changing and ever evolving, we also felt like eventually the Crowdstreet platform could be a good fit for institutional operators, not publicly traded REITs, because we all have access to those sort of offerings, but kind of the private offerings that used to be limited to the country club network and exclusive set of investors of kind of ultra high net worth investors. And what we're doing is we're bringing those opportunities to a much wider audience. Now, investors on Crowdstreet still need to be accredited at this point in time due to a variety of reasons, mostly due to the securities laws. But the bottom line is that, to answer your question, the sponsors are finding us, and I'll use the term sponsor and operator sort of, together, basically mean operating companies, but they've realized that, online capital formation for commercial commercial real estate offerings is the wave of the future. And they have found us organically because we've had a presence and established ourselves as thought leaders, but also, kind of basic blocking and tackling of building an online marketplace. We've done a variety of things to get the word out and reach out to some of our target audience, and so far it's been a variety of different ways, but no real magic to it, just kind of hard work and relationship building.
So you're kind of like the Match.com for commercial real estate, matching investors?
We are. Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I love that comparison. I've been using that one for a while. We are the Match.com. We're a marketplace kind of like eBay. We're not a party to these deals, but we are a posting platform, kind of like Match.com, where you upload your sort of information, and then, the other party is connected to you because their profile is a match, with what you have to offer. So we have a two-sided marketplace at Crowdstreet. And on one side are the real estate operators who are looking to finance their commercial real estate offerings or properties. And on the other side of the marketplace are accredited investors and institutional investors and different capital companies that are looking for access to deal flow, and they're looking for quality investments, institutional quality in our case, and they're looking to make those investments online. So they're looking for everyone's looking for that match that you alluded to.
So do you have a limit that if someone can come onto the site and they're only looking to invest $100,000, or is there a minimum that they have to be willing to be looking to invest?
Yeah, so on our site, we have a site minimum of $10,000. And what we have found is that the institutional quality real estate operators that we're focused on, they prefer a higher minimum investment amount. So we've done deals with minimum investment amounts of $10,000 per investor, but our average is $25,000, and we've gone as high as $50,000. We've had requests at $250,000, and we're not quite ready to go that high as our minimum investment amount.
Is this almost like a Kickstarter for commercial real estate, like where you're taking, say they wanted $2 million, and you're taking 1,000 people putting in $20,000?
It is and it is not. It's similar to Kickstarter, and that Kickstarter is the big brand name in crowdfunding, and they deserve a lot of credit for innovating in the space the way that they did. But in Kickstarter, that's donation-based crowdfunding, and there's donation-based crowdfunding and reward-based crowdfunding, and then there's equity crowdfunding, and it's that space where Crowdstreet is involved. Mm-hmm. So our investors are looking to invest via Crowdstreet, absolutely with the anticipation and expectation of a profit, of a return on investment, whether that be in the form of a debt vehicle so that they're earning an interest on their investment, a targeted cash yield annually. And our investments typically are in the 10 to 14% range on the debt side, and then as well as on the equity side. So some folks are looking to invest in equity offerings, either a preferred equity or a common equity, and that basically puts your capital right there next to the capital of the operating partner, and in fact, it puts you in a superior position. And sometimes you're earning cash flow if the property is producing cash flow, and other times it's more of a growth opportunity. There might not be as much cash flow in the interim on an equity deal, whereas once the business plan for the property is implemented, for example, new tenants are occupying the building, and then the operator goes to sell that property in the future, that's really the driver on that exit strategy or the sale of the property, where you get the majority of your return, and that would be viewed as more of a growth opportunity for future upside. One point I'll make on the equity piece as well as the debt piece is that when we look at the sponsors that we work with at Crowdstreet, we always look for an alignment of interest between the sponsor and the operator. We always want the investor's money to be in a sort of superior position, if you will, in the first position over the sponsors, because we believe that that's sort of the part of being a trusted marketplaces, bringing deals to the investor community that have an attractive risk-adjusted rate of return, and that have the investors in a superior position to the real estate operating partners.
Darren, now is this a national? You cover all commercial real estate all over America, or is it international?
Yeah, so it is a national platform. Crowdstreet focuses all the way across the United States. We happen to have a lot of offerings in the north and northeast United States. I myself am from New Jersey and get back to New York, New Jersey, and New England quite often. I know that's where a lot of your audience is from. We have a current offering in Piscataway, New Jersey. It's an institutional quality and size, for that matter, 688,000 square foot office complex, and Mac Calley is one of the owners. So a lot of people know who Mac Calley is. Keystone's the other owner, and for example, that one is a debt deal that has a 10.5% return. That's a currently live offering. But we offer where our focus is strictly on commercial real estate debt and equity offerings, but we do operate for all the way across the United States.
And what about this platform? It's all user entry data. I know, Ricky, trying to get a question, but not fast enough. It's all user entry, right, for the data?
We do some curating of it as ourselves, and it's not entirely self-service, but we do have various forms that investors fill out. So we're tracking investors, and we're building investor profiles for the individual investors, and we're really convinced that providing personal delivery or personal access based upon an investor's profile is the key to success here. So, for example, Eric and Rick, you guys might have different ideas of what your investing goals are, and so you tell us what those are, and we serve up personal deal flow to Rick based upon his preference, and the same thing for you, Eric.
All right.
Now you said it's mainly commercial. Do you do anything with these flippers, house flippers, or?
Yeah, no. That's there are plenty of platforms out there that for crowdfunding for real estate, and most of them are focused on single-family home flips, right. And that's something that we do not do at all. Our whole sort of history and our expertise is in commercial real estate and investment-grade commercial real estate that cash flows or has some sort of discernible upside for the investor. We do not do any residential real estate except in the space of multifamily or senior housing, and we would perhaps consider, a planned unit development or something of a grander scale, but we're really not ready to take that on yet. So strictly on Crowdstreet, you come to Crowdstreet to look for investment grade commercial real estate.
Well, what about as Crowdstreet continues to grow, like most softwares that are brought to these industries, do you see Crowdstreet growing in size and scale? Do you see it evolving into a different platform than you guys had originally intended? Because I know that people that use your system will have their own input on what would help and make the transactions and make the platform much easier to use.
Oh, absolutely. We're constantly evolving. We're kind of students of the agile software development process and the lean startup. So, we've really bootstrapped the company from day one. And what we've been completely obsessed with is talking with investors and talking with real estate operators and asking them what they want from us. We were not so bold to come out and say, oh, this is exactly what you need investing, commercial real estate investing community. And so with that process of customer interviews and building what the customer wants or what our clients want has been very rewarding for Crowdstreet thus far, and that'll continue through our life cycle. So, yeah, I think 5 years from now, we'll look a lot different than we are today. But the software literally is changing on a daily basis right now. We're making constant upgrades to it, and that goes for our process as well. We're trying to make the platform the number one, most trusted, reliable, and sort of simple marketplace for commercial real estate investing.
Daryl, if someone wanted to,
Darren,
I'm sorry, Darren. If someone wanted to find out more about Crowdstreet, how would they get a hold of you? You have a website.
Yes. If they would go to crowdstreet.com or Google CrowdStreet, they'd find us very easily. We've got excellent organic search results, and we welcome all the participation of your fan base and your listeners in whatever means is of interest to them.
I like how you called them our fan base and not just our listeners.
Right. We do have a giant fan base.
We do have a huge fan base. They're all sitting outside the studio right now. You wouldn't believe it, Darren. We really appreciate you coming on and telling us all about this platform, because we're really into the technology aspects of the commercial real estate industry. But really appreciate you coming on, and everybody go to crowdstreet.com.
Actually, Eric, more. I think those 3 fans are breaking into your car right now.
Yeah, they probably are. Thanks again, and
we're going to get you guys some security.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for coming on, Darren. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Darren.
Okay, guys, thank you for having me. Have a great day. Thank you.
Take care. And that was Darren Powderly, the co-founder of Crowdstreet, which is the real estate investment platform for commercial real estate, which was really cool. What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty neat.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I didn't even realize there was something like that available to commercial real estate people.
Right. Well, I mean, it is one of the steadiest investments that you can have, because there is no more land being produced except near volcanoes.
Yeah, and because you have a REIT where people can invest in.
Right.
This is for a smaller commercial property.
Almost like I didn't want to say, because almost like making it like commercial real estate is now accessible to buy into, like stocks are for companies.
Yeah,
which I think is kind of a cool idea where they're going with that.
Yeah, I mean, because right now a lot of people would love to be able to invest in real estate, but most people don't want to invest the time into it.
They don't realize it takes time.
And this way, you can take away the time and still have your investment in the property.
Well, that was Darren, and that was you and me, Rick. Thanks for joining us today, Pinhead from Hellraiser. I'm going to make sure he goes looks it up.
Don't use that term.
I should call you Ariel. But thank you, everybody, for joining us. Make sure you check us out next week. We'll be joined by a couple weeks from now, and you will be joined by some other people. I don't even know. I don't know who's on.
We don't know who the guests are yet.
At the moment, I don't have it off. You have to imagine, I have Lyme disease, everybody. So I'm having a brain fog right now. I do know who it is, but I can't.
We're lucky this show is only on one time a week, because otherwise the listeners would have to listen to that as much as we do on an hourly basis.
Yes. So thank you, everybody, for joining the New York Real Estate Journal. Don't forget to check out youtube.com/NERE Journal to see all of our playlists, and we'll see you next week here at UR Business Network.